Welcome to a brand new day. My name is Montivino Valentine. I am the co-founder of the PrideFX movement. Now, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, hit the like button as well as the notification bell so that you do receive a notification on future videos we do have on this channel. Now, today we are doing the binary shark indicator, and this indicator was designed by a Russian group. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I'll be doing a review on this, and in the next video you will know how to use this system. So the first thing is, let's drag this over, and we don't want to look at the visualization. We want to start where the about page is, and the about page just tells us basically where the system came from. So we can see that this is binary_shark, and the copyright is 2021. Now, what I like about the system is that it is an updated system. So that's the first part that I like about the system. It's an updated system, and we can see that the copyright is 2021. Okay, so let's go to the common page, and at the common page, most of you know by now that we just need to allow the DLL and allow modifications. Then inputs, like I said, it is a Russian group. It will take us a long time to understand what is going on over here, so we're not going to focus too much on that. Visualization is just basically the time frames that you would like to see this indicator on. So let's click OK. And what I like about the system, number one, is that it does give you signals on your alert page. So we can see that at this time, which is 10:19:53, that the CCI picked up a buy signal on the upper trigger, which crossed over. Okay, so there is a lot of other things happening behind the scenes compared to us just seeing the arrows shown on our chart. So I'm just going to click OK there, and just to show you what I mean is that we had a sell signal over there. Here we had a buy signal that goes up, a buy signal, a sell signal. So we can see how simple it is to use the binary shark indicator. Number two is that there is a CCI alert, and this is the one that I like the most, which is the CCI indicator. This indicator was found by forextsd.com, and it was found in 2006. Now, like I said before, is that we don't want to use systems that are used in 2006. It doesn't meet the market structure of today, but for some systems they still do the work that we need them to do, and that's basically just looking for what we want the system to look for. Now, if you want to play around with the settings, this is the input section where you can play around and look at what you want to see. Now, here we have time frames, which most systems does not have. So we can just click OK. There is colors, there is levels, there is visualization. For now, we just want to focus on what it is giving us. So what I like about the CCI, the CCI is actually the one that's giving us most of the signals. So what we can see from the CCI is the strength of the market. Is the market still going to continue up? Is the market still going to continue down? So for instance, over here we had the market go up, and when it got exhausted, we can see the market crashed and it fell below this point. And after the -200, we can see that the market went up past our -100, stopped between the 0, went back down, and then went back up. So we can see the strength and where the market would exhaust most of the times. So with this CCI, when it gets to -100 or -200, we can classify -100 as a buy, and we can classify -200 as a strong buy. And that's because the market is basically telling us that the market is exhausted. It's not going to continue up any further. It's going to go and look for a place of rest and then continue in that direction, or it's not going to continue in that direction, depending on what the CCI gives us. So once it passes the 0, we want to look for sells, and the first place to look for a sell is at the 100 line, and then if it goes further up, which is to the 200, we know it as a strong sell. So we can see that when the market gets there, it's a very strong reversal for the market to sell. It might go to the 0 and continue up, or it might continue going lower to the negative 200 and then going back up for a buy. So depending on the strength, and I would say knowing your price action is so important when you are using this CCI indicator. And why I say so is because we can see that the market has fell from the highest point, went down to the lowest point. So what can we see from there? The market needs to continuously go up to that point. Okay, so we will get more into that when we're speaking about how to use the system. So basically the CCI is the one thing that I like about this system. And then let's just get into the MA2 signal, which is the same as using the binary shark. So you can decide which one you would like to use. Now, I'm not a big fan of moving averages, the crossing of moving averages. And the reason why is because they do give us late signals. They give us signals at a time when we should have caught the signal much earlier than expected. So what we can see from here is that when the market crosses over, we will get a sell signal, and there we had our first sell signal. Here we had a crossover, another sell, and another sell. So just like I said, the moving averages might be in a consolidation. The market might be in a consolidation, and we would get multiple crossovers, and that would destroy our trading plan because we might take multiple signals because of that consolidation period, and the market might just reverse in the other direction while we have taken so many trades. So that's the only reason why I don't really like the moving averages, because they do depend on that crossover. And just like I said, the crossovers might be that the market moved over here and it crossed over when this candlestick occurred, right? So when this candlestick occurred, it's way too late for us to enter with a moving average. And why I say so is because let's say our entry is once, as we know, most of us have this trading rule where the candlestick must close before we do enter. So let's say the market closed over there and we have taken that sell signal. So this is our entry. Let's just visualize that line as our entry point. And what happens after that? The market reverses and gives us a buy signal. So depending on that, it might hurt us or it might make us profit. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't use this, because of the late entries with moving averages. So what would I use if I was the person using this? I would only use the binary and as well as the CCI, but I wouldn't use the moving averages. That is just my point of view. If you feel like you would like to use it, it's really up to you, but I need to be more honest when I'm doing my reviews. And why I'm saying I would use this is because we can see that when the market decided to actually drop below that point, we can also look at what is going on in this market. So we can see over here we had this occur, and then once this green dot appears over here, we have a signal, so we know that we can take that buy trade when this arrow pops up over here. Here we had a sell signal, but because it's not deep into that 100 or deep into that 200, it would have been a false signal on my side because we are deep into the negative 100, and that would mean that we are taking a risk of a trade. Here we have another one coming out of the 100, but as we can see that it is closer to that negative 100, and we can see we closing in on that zero line, so I would have taken that buy trade. So very simple to use. Just also following these dots also tells you what is going on and where is that buy signals coming from. So for instance, this buy signal that's appearing on our chart, our main chart over here, it's showing that in that 100 there is a buy trade, and as you can see we are closing on that 100, we are closing on that 200. So it wouldn't be very how can I say, it wouldn't be a way for me to take a trade there because of where the market is. So very interesting just to know that it is the binary shark. It is a very profitable system, but it does take a lot of patience from the person. Would I have paid money for this? Yes, I would have paid money for this. And the reason why is because, first of all, we are getting the strategy from the original authors. If it was 2,000 Rand, I would have paid 2,000 Rand, but not more than that. And why I say not more than that, there's a lot of improvements within 2021 that most programmers can do. We can send signals through SMS. Just for instance, when we bring up binary shark once more, I would just like to show you something. So for instance, the alert bar should be giving us signals on our cell phones. I mean, we don't carry our laptops walking around. We don't move around with our laptops. We don't actually sit with our laptops and wait for that signal every single time. We are more interested in our smartphone. So when we do get an SMS from binary.com, we would have taken it much more serious to actually take that trade, and also do analysis on MetaTrader 5 to see if it is true that the signal that we are given is done. So that's the first point, that I wouldn't pay more than 2,000 for this system. Okay, number two is that I wouldn't pay more than 2,000 for the system because of its simplicity. It's very simple for someone to design this. This might have taken two or not even a paragraph of code. I would have said 2 lines of code, or maybe 4 lines of code, just to meet some conditions from the CCI. We can see a lot of the main chart, or the binary robot, has been taken from the 2006 CCI filter and has just been thrown together for us to look at. So basically, this system is designed from the CCI, and most of the code lays in the CCI. So I wouldn't have paid more than 2,000, as the system was recreated from someone and actually just turned into a signal provider on our alert chart. So basically, that's why I wouldn't pay 2,000, more than 2,000 for the system. Number 3 is that the system doesn't have any price action involved. It doesn't have any market structure. It doesn't include anything to give us confirmation that the market is still trending upwards or if it's trending downwards. The only way we would know is by looking at where is the lines going. So for instance, this line is going towards the 200, but what makes us so sure that the market is not going to continue up? Because we can see that the market has a lot of room to close on. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't pay more than 2,000 Rand, because of market structure. That's it from the review. Hope to see you in the how to use system. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your week.